We are Rogue Media Sports.
Today I talked with Jaden Maronen about his big win against TCU, his love for seafood, and his tattoos. Hi, welcome to Beyond the Game. Today here I have with me Jaden Maronen. I say your last name right?
Yeah, that's
okay,
right.
Perfect. Middle linebacker for Baylor football. How are we feeling?
Oh, feeling great. You know, we had practice this morning, so
Yeah.
done for the week. Got a little bye week, so
I know,
feeling
that's
good.
exciting. So what weekend can you go home, like have the weekend off?
Yeah, so I'm going back home tomorrow after class, and then going to see the family and
Nice.
stuff. So.
Home, Katy, Texas.
Yep.
Big football.
Mhm.
Big
H-Town.
football.
Mhm.
I just remember being in high school, like hearing about Katy football.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. And
Exactly,
it's
yeah.
Texas football. So what's it kind of like being from Katy, saying you came from Katy?
Yeah, I'll say well, our high school's full of tradition and
Mhm.
stuff, so you know it's very recruited. I would
Right.
say so. There's a lot of like Coach Wessel out here knows Katy well, as well as other coaches.
Right.
So I think it was a good transition just coming from Katy, just because the way we were coached. So it was an easier transition than others
To
would
come
have.
to Baylor?
Right.
Yeah. So what made you choose Baylor?
Yeah, so I'm actually a walk-on here. So
Right.
I had other offers like D2 offers and stuff,
Mhm.
but I felt that I could use my ability to
Yeah.
earn something for myself. And I love it here. The
Right.
school, coaches, everybody's it's a great place
How
to
do
go.
you feel about Waco? I mean, there's so many mixed emotions about Waco. Like, you either love it or you hate it. And I feel like being here, you learn to love it, even though it's a small town. But, like, how do you feel about Waco? Being from Houston, it's dynamic.
It's definitely different just because it's a smaller little place.
Right.
But the community itself is pretty fun. My cousins actually used to go here, or one of them still does. So
Okay.
it was nice, like
Baylor. I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, so it was nice having like someone here that I know.
Right.
But yeah, I like it. It's not too bad.
I don't know. It's like hit
It's not
and
Houston,
miss.
but
Yeah, it's not Houston, but so big game this past weekend, big win against TCU.
Yep.
Like how are we feeling about that? You as a person, and then overall Baylor football.
You know, as a person, it was a great feeling to see that we actually put a game together. We could finish one,
Right.
which is really good. Proud of Isaiah. He had his kid about 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
that's all. That is
Yeah,
incredible.
it's an awesome moment
like
for
that
him.
is so awesome. Yeah, big. It was so cool. Everyone carrying him
Yeah,
off.
it
Like
really
that's awesome. I know he was feeling great.
And I'm glad, some of the players on the team they weren't here for Sugar Bowl year like I was my
Right.
freshman year, so
Yeah.
they didn't really get to experience the fans rushing the field. So
That was
I was excited for
amazing.
everybody to experience that.
Yeah, that's so much fun. I rushed, I guess, OU. Is that OU?
Freshman- my
Yeah.
freshman year?
I guess I
Yeah.
was a sophomore, so you were a freshman. Yeah. That was like no experience like it.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
and then the week before, why am I blanking who y'all played?
OSU.
OSU. How the last 3 wins, those are big wins.
Yeah.
Especially Tech, y'all kind of took like they were undefeated in the Big 12.
Tech.
Yeah, and y'all, I mean that was awesome. I feel like was that a big confidence gain for you guys?
Yeah, I would say we came off that bye week, focusing on things that we needed to fix.
Pretty rough after Iowa. That
Yeah.
was a lot of things that needed
So we
to be
kind of had like a
done.
little, I would say, a wake up call or like a, we need to get this done.
Right.
So then we came into that week, Tech. We did our thing, we won, and we just kind of kept the momentum going.
Right.
So then looking back now to our bye week now, this is the next step up to
Right, for sure.
continue and win out the rest of the season.
I think it's cool that y'all are getting 2 bye weeks
Yeah,
in
me
one
too.
season. Like, has that been? Have you had 2 bye weeks since
This is
you've
the
been
first
at Baylor?
time, yeah.
I mean, there's so many teams in the Big 12. It's like crazy
Yeah,
how
I
many
know.
people have moved in and out. But yeah, I mean, overall, like the last 3 games, big wins. I feel like that was a lot of motivation for you guys.
For sure, yeah.
What do you feel like gave y'all that motivation? Like after the Iowa, like was that just like what gave y'all that motivation?
Yeah. Well, we still have the goal, we want to win up top, be on top of the everything. So, I think the losses that we did have, we knew that really didn't represent who we were as
Right.
a team. So I think just we still have that in our heart, so we know we can, or know we are that team. So
Right.
that's the
I know
motivation we have.
every loss other than Iowa State was not, just some crazy loss. Like it was just barely like, fight till the end. I mean, Colorado, that was real tough,
Yeah.
but like y'all should have won that game. Like everyone and their mom can see that
Yeah.
y'all should have won that game. So I feel like lots of boosts, like the motivation. Y'all can see y'all are actually coming together as a team. I mean, y'all look so good. Defense, offense, both sides. I mean, Sawyer Robertson's a beast. Like, he's awesome.
Yeah, I love that kid.
I think it's so cool that, you know, at first, like, he had a lot of doubts from last season because he just stepped in a few times. So I just feel like overall Baylor football is, like, getting it together and coming around. And so I don't know. It's really amazing. Like, how do you feel about it? Just, like, the team overall. Like, how do you feel about it this year?
Yeah, so I love all of them. You know, I don't know if this might be my last year, if I'm coming back or not. So, you know, it's good to have everybody being confident right now.
Right.
It's fun
and
to see that.
y'all are still young, too. I mean, like, it's a young team still. Like, last year was really young. This year's still really young. I feel like it's – when you start young like that, you build and build and build, and so, like, that's awesome. But, yeah, it's so much fun. Like, being, like, able to see y'all do that and everything is just, like, super exciting. Awesome. I know people love it. Like, so how do you feel as far as, like, fans go in Waco? Like, do you feel like it's very Baylor football oriented? Like, do you feel like?
Yeah, I would say, you know, especially after we started winning more.
Yeah, like, we have some bandwagons. Yeah, Baylor is, like, kind of bad about bandwagoning.
Yeah.
But, like.
And I feel like, obviously, the blackout games help a lot.
See, blackout is fun. Like, and I love those uniforms.
Oh,
like, are those your favorite uniforms?
They're my favorite.
Yeah. I think they're the sharpest ones. Like, they just. No one has uniforms like that in the Big 12. So I think it's just awesome. I think blackout is, like. It is. I feel like it brings a lot. I mean, I even love the blackout games. I like getting to wear black, and it's just a lot of fun. But, yeah, so, like, what would you say environment-wise? Like, what's the environment like being on the field, being just in Baylor, like, around football season? Like, what's the environment like?
Yeah, I would definitely say, like, the fans do make an impact. Like, when we're on the field and stuff. Like, it's loud, and it feels good to have like, the fans cheering and stuff. And, you know, when you go around, like, outside of football, like, you're on the street or whatever, you go to HEB or whatever, you definitely notice, like, the fans, people notice you and stuff.
Absolutely. People know who you are.
Yeah,
like,
very respectful people.
Right. So that comes to my next question. Like, what is it like, the standard you have to hold yourself to being a college athlete, Baylor football player, you know, Baptist University, big deal. Like, what standard do you feel like there's a standard you have to hold yourself to?
Yeah, I would definitely say just because we have that spotlight. Like, sometimes we don't think that people notice us out of a crowd, but they do.
Absolutely.
So, you know, someone's always watching.
People are always watching, right.
Exactly.
For sure.
So, yeah, I think just being a role model and a leader in your community is definitely a standard.
Just carrying yourself to a higher standard.
Yep.
I agree. Yeah, so what is it like being, like, a D1 college athlete? Like, what does that feel like? I know there's pros and cons to it.
For sure.
More pros than cons, clearly, but there's definitely, you know, some cons to it.
I mean, it's a blessing for sure. Right. You know, sometimes when I feel like, oh, this is hard, all this stuff, but I kind of take a step back and, like, this is a blessing.
Yeah, like realize what you have. I know it can probably be so hard. Football, school, like, it's a full-time job. For like, people don't, I think, realize that aren't, you know, super in tune with, like, college football and stuff, like, don't realize it's a full-time job. Like, what y'all are doing, like, having to balance the school and football part, like, and your personal life is, like, you know, NFL, it's, like, you practice and that's just, like, your main job. Like, you have to do school and your personal life and, like, that just, like, so how do you balance school and football and your personal life? Like, how do you balance the three of those things?
So, school-wise, I kind of, like, either the weekends, like Sundays or at the beginning of the week, I try to get all my schoolwork done. Right. Just so I'm, like,
out of the way.
Less stressed out during the week. And, you know, personal life, it's kind of like just after football. So I kind of have, there's priorities in my life. So football and school, family, all that stuff. So I would say personal life is pretty much after football.
Yeah, so, right, exactly. Yeah. Football first, school first, and then what are academics like at Baylor? Like, you feel like it's pretty tough being student athlete?
I would say some classes are definitely harder,
it's difficult for sure.
The scripture classes and stuff like that.
Yeah, those classes are so hard. I didn't know if I was gonna make it past those classes. I think that's probably every student at Baylor, for even like really smart kids. Like it's just hard. But so I mean, what do you like to do on your free time after football?
Yeah. Well, I've been on the game a lot recently, actually.
Really? What game do you play?
It's called
Play Madden? No.
I play Call of Duty, but it's a scary game called Phasmophobia.
Oh, interesting.
Me, Brooks, and Josh White.
Okay.
We've been playing it. Oh my gosh.
What do you like? What is it like?
It's
what
like
do
the game.
Yeah.
So you're like a ghost hunter.
Oh wow.
You gotta go in
okay.
this house and it's like.
That's fun.
Oof,
and y'all get on
scary.
like y'all wear like the headsets and everything and talk back and forth.
It's scary.
That's
I like
fun.
it though.
I'm like I don't know. Living alone, I had to like stop watching so much scary stuff because I'm like, I'm alone by myself and dark. It's dark at night. I'm like, monster's gonna jump out and get me. So, well, as far as like you yourself, like what do you feel like? Who has been your biggest like? What's your biggest motivation? Like what motivates you to go harder, to do better, and keep going?
I would definitely say my twin sister.
Your twin sister?
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Wait,
Yeah,
I didn't realize you had a twin.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Twin sister.
Where's she at school? At?
SFA.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, she's
nice.
a nursing school out there.
Wow, that's awesome.
But she was born with hip and knee dysplasia, so like
wow.
the joints don't really, like they're flat like that.
Uh-huh.
So she's had like I would say, today like 12 surgeries.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so
wow. Yeah, that has to be amazing.
That's
to
definitely
see her
something.
Get past that for sure.
Something I use for motivation, like trying to be a leader and like someone she can look up to, even though she's older than me.
Yeah.
But
it makes you realize how blessed you are,
for
like
sure.
how healthy, and like being healthy is the biggest blessing. I think every day we take it for granted, you know, waking up, just being healthy, just life. So, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then more siblings, right? You have other siblings?
Yeah.
Or you're the only boy?
I am.
You are, okay.
Just me and my dad. That's
nice. Yeah, 2 boys. Y'all are outrun by the girls
and we have 2
in the
girl
family.
dogs as well.
Of course, right? Your little bulldogs.
Yep.
Those little bulldogs
Yep.
are so cute. How old's your younger sister? Is she younger than you?
No, she's 3 minutes older than me.
Okay, what
Yes,
about?
so
But
I'm
do you
the
have a
baby.
little sister too?
Mhm.
Is it just y'all 2?
Yeah, and then we have 2 older sisters.
Oh, older sisters. Okay, how old are your older sisters?
If they're hearing this, they might get mad at me.
Even know.
26 and
Okay, a little bit
29.
older.
They have the same birthday, but 2 years apart.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
it's wild.
actually awesome. That's fun. So, what, like, who has been, well, clearly you said, like, what motivates you.
Mhm.
Who's been your biggest, like, influence in life? Like, had the biggest impact, you know, showed you, like, football, keep going, just, like, biggest influence on and off the field?
That's hard between my mom or dad.
Right.
I'll say my mom, you know, she helped me a lot through, like, say junior high.
Mhm.
I was kind of a little bigger. I didn't really want to work out.
Okay.
We moved from Corpus Christi to Houston, so.
Oh, I didn't know. Are you originally from Corpus Christi?
Well, I was born in San Antonio.
Okay,
Moved to Corpus for
wow.
like 6 years, and
Okay.
then moved to Houston.
Didn't know that.
So she kind of helped me push through a lot of things, and then my dad has been also a good role model just because all the stuff he's been through in his life.
Right.
You know, he didn't really
Awesome.
have a good childhood and stuff
Wow,
like that. So.
it's awesome to see like the change. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
You can always change, like make the change in your family versus what happened in your family. So that's awesome. Right. So what is it? You know, being from clearly like you know you come from a religious background, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what's it like going to a school, playing football? You know, just like the religious atmosphere here. Do you feel like it's a big part of like your everyday life, like helps you on the field? Like how do you feel as far as that
Yeah,
goes?
I definitely think, you know, I put in God first in everything I do. And then especially in football too, we have this every Tuesday we do a Bible study.
Oh wow, that's
so
awesome.
It's like a group of players obviously, and you know, we just talk about life and all of our struggles and like stuff we can, you know, get through.
And that's awesome because, you know, part like why I do this podcast, like people don't know what goes on y'all's lives outside of football. They see what they see on the field, and y'all are athletes, but y'all have whole other lives and, you know, things that y'all go through as well. Y'all aren't seen as like normal people all the time. Y'all are seen as, you know, just athletes. So like to see like, you know, y'all actually struggle, y'all do all these other things as well. So it's just like, it's cool to see that. Like, is this mandatory that y'all have to go to on Tuesday? Just if you want to.
Yeah, if you want
That's
to.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
See, that's so awesome that Baylor provides something like that for you guys because, you know, I just think, like, the faith-based is, like, takes you a long way.
It really does.
It really, really does, especially, you know, as a team, having that structure and that, you know, that's what y'all are, like, that's what it's centered on is faith-based. So that's awesome. I'm trying to think what else I have about Baylor. Like, what has been your your favorite memory from Baylor? It can be sports, normal, like whatever.
It's I'll say when we won the Big 12.
Big 12.
Yeah, and then we came back and we had like the little bonfire. They had the bonfire in the
Yes,
street. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Just seeing everybody and that whole season, to be honest, was my favorite.
Like a
one. Yeah.
dream, right? It was incredible.
It really
There
was.
was like nothing like it. Like it was amazing. You were a freshman too.
I was.
That's so fun to come in and like
And then we're winning all these games.
everything,
it was awesome. Yeah.
right? And you're sitting back like little
Exactly.
kid at that because like when you come into college, you're still a little kid. And you're just like, wow, this is just incredible.
Yeah, and I was still 17. I was young.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Yeah, you were young. Well, that's fun. It's so fun. And then that year also was Sugar Bowl as well too. So you got to experience that.
Yeah.
And that was so much fun.
Amazing.
New Orleans, like the whole environment is just amazing.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, so I mean, overall Baylor has treated you well. It's been a good place for you. Do you ever have regrets, wish you would have picked somewhere else, or you love Baylor and you're glad to be here?
No, I'm definitely glad to be here. I don't really think about
Going anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah, I mean Baylor's been good to me. Lots of learning periods.
sure,
Like
yeah.
you know, I feel like that's everyone. Baylor's just, I don't know. Baylor holds the standard, and I feel like, you know, after having a degree from here it's incredible. Like it's amazing. So it's awesome. So priorities, like what are your top priorities in life behind football?
Yeah, I would say my faith is definitely something that, especially this year, it's been a long one, a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So I'd say my faith is a priority right now. Family as well. There's also been lots of family going on this year, so that, and then just trying to make an impact on other people around me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge. You know, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Caring about people around you. You know, people. That's another thing people don't realize. People think athletes are like stuck up and like stuff like that and self-centered. So to see someone doing that as an athlete and saying that is huge. So that's awesome. But as far as like injuries go, have you had an injury since you've been here?
I
Okay.
have, yeah.
And how have you gotten through it and come back? Did it make you stronger, or how was that?
Yeah. So I broke my wrist last bye week. Last year's bye week. Had surgery and stuff, so I was out for the whole season, the rest of the season. And I would just say like the staff and my friends on the team, they definitely helped me, know that it happened for a reason.
Right, for
so
sure.
I think it helped me grow up a lot.
It's hard too in those times like that, especially during football season. It's like, why me? Why is this happening to me? Like, why? And you ask God, like, why? Like, why? But you're right. Bigger picture, everything happens for a reason.
Exactly, yeah.
And so now you're healthy, and that's awesome. It's also like it's a mind thing too, how much stronger it makes you to know that like you can come back from that, and it's it's not the end of the world as much as it feels like everything's ending and like that's that. But to come back from that is just awesome. I just like injuries are hard. It's being an athlete. Like I'm sure that had to be really tough. How long was that recovery period?
Yeah. So that happened last year before Cincinnati. So I think I got cleared to do like fully everything in January.
Oh wow.
So that was about what, October?
Like probably like five-ish months.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, that's tough. Any injury is pretty rough.
Yeah.
But so going into the rest of the season, how are we feeling, and what do we need to do to keep up? Keep it up. These wins, these winnings.
I would definitely say I feel great about it.
Is everyone feeling good? Everyone's feeling refreshed. Like it's like a refresh, a start over of the season.
Yeah.
Like, whatever happened first few games. Like, 3 wins in a row. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So like, how is that? Like, how's everyone feeling? What it needs to be done?
Yeah. So Randall definitely talks about a lot, like not being too high or not being too low. Just kind of having the medium ground.
Right, the mellowness.
Yeah. So I think that's something we need to continue doing. I feel like we are doing that pretty good.
Yeah. For sure.
Like you're not too high with these 3 wins, and that
Right,
especially this past
exactly.
win by just staying like up on this track.
Yeah, for sure. Just keep cruising through.
Exactly. Yeah.
The next game,
West Virginia.
West Virginia. Okay, how are we feeling about that? Because obviously we have a bye week this week. So how are we feeling about West Virginia?
No, we're feeling pretty good. We haven't won there before, so
we haven't
beat them.
Y'all
there.
haven't, and it's there, right?
Yep.
Okay, so y'all haven't won there yet. Oh, that's crazy. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
hopefully that'll be some good motivation for that. But I just think these last 3 wins were huge,
Yeah, I
and
agree.
needed that very much to finish out your season strong.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone has all the talk about preseason, oh, we're gonna be so good, so good. I just think it's still a fresh team. I think just getting everyone putting the pieces together, y'all didn't have a secure quarterback at first,
Right.
so
Yeah.
having to readapt and figure that out, because quarterback, that's a huge
It
thing,
is.
trying to get your team to work together and put the pieces together. So I
Yeah.
feel like it's just amazing. I know everyone's really excited for you guys.
Mhm.
Baylor fans, when y'all are up, everyone's super
Everyone's up,
happy.
yeah.
Clearly, we have some bad fans, and when y'all are losing, it's not fun. But
Right.
I think, for the most part, it's amazing. We're really happy to see you guys winning, and it makes me happy to see y'all happy.
Yeah.
When y'all are all sad, it makes me sad.
Right.
I'm just and people don't realize the work y'all put in
Mhm.
to do that. So
Yeah.
I think it's amazing, and I'm really happy for you guys.
Yeah,
So
thank you. Yeah.
of course, yeah. I'm trying to think what else I have to ask you about the football season. It's awesome. So, what has been, you think, Baylor's biggest challenge this season?
This season. I would just say being consistent.
Consistent.
Yeah,
right.
especially early on.
You feel like y'all were rocky in that
Yeah, just
point in the
trying to-
beginning, trying to get some
Trying to find our
consistency?
grounding, I would
Right.
say. And I feel like now we're starting to be more consistent. So
Nice. That's awesome.
awesome.
Yeah. Lots of changes, Baylor football. How about as far as NIL goes?
Mhm.
How do you feel about NIL?
Oh, I love it.
I think it's
I love
I think
it.
it's amazing. Clearly if it's done wrong, there's cons to it, but I think
Yeah.
I think it's awesome for
Yeah.
people. I think it's awesome for people and their families that families that are struggling, and being able to send money to your family
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
What do you feel like is the biggest best outcome from NIL?
I think GXG does a great job.
Right.
Us. Let's say this past week we had a little toy drive for kids
That's
and
awesome.
stuff.
I
So
did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, so
and
it's-
so GXG hosted that and held
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's awesome. I feel like they're very involved with you guys.
definitely
They're
are, yeah.
super involved. I feel like that's a big part. That's why Waco community is awesome. Just caring for their football team, your
Mhm.
athletes, all the donors. People really care for you guys, and I feel like that's awesome.
Yeah.
So GXG is great. We do a lot of stuff here with them, and
Mhm.
so I think it's awesome.
Yeah, they're awesome.
But yeah, so I just want to ask you a few fun questions,
Yep.
fun fact about you. I know that's so on the
About
spot, and people are like, oh, that's
Okay.
a hard question. So
Well, I would say I'm a twin, but I'm not gonna use that. I already said that. Fun fact. I don't know.
I know
I'll
it's
say
such an
I like
on-the-spot
tattoos,
question.
so I'm
right. Okay.
kinda
Tell me a
addicted to
little bit about
tattoos.
your tattoos.
Yeah. So
Are they all meaningful? All have some
Yeah,
meaning
they-
to them?
pretty much. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. I'll
Favorite
say-
one.
My favorite one?
That's the question. Because you have them on your leg
My
too,
leg,
right? Your
chest,
whole leg,
stomach,
chest, all
back,
of it,
everywhere.
right?
Yeah. I might say this one. This is blessed
Mhm.
because me and my twin sister we have matching ones.
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
I would say that it's
That's
probably my
really
favorite
sweet.
one.
So they're all sentimental
Yeah,
and
for
meaningful
sure.
too. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, favorite food. I know being from Houston, I love seafood from
yeah.
Houston. So what's your favorite food?
I would say Cajun, but I love Italian food because
Okay,
we're also
see,
Italian. My
Italian
family's
is.
Italian.
Oh, are you really? Y'all
Yeah.
are Italian.
Mhm.
Okay, that's awesome. Favorite place to go in Houston? What is your favorite place? That's so hard because there's
It
so
is
many
hard.
good places. But you go back home and you're like, oh, I'm craving this place. I want this place.
What's the name of it? It's a seafood place. Goody Seafood.
Okay, nice. I've heard of it. I
Great.
haven't
It's
ever
so
tried
good.
it. I've had Lotus. Have you ever had Lotus
Yes,
before?
yeah.
Oh my gosh. It is literally
so
incredible.
good.
I'm waiting till I get to go back and eat
Mhm.
Lotus again. Okay. Last fun fact. What is your pregame ritual? What's your pregame ritual?
So I have these songs, right? So I
Mhm.
play. I've been doing it since high school. I do
Uh-huh.
the first 5 minutes.
This has been your ritual since high
Since high
school
school,
football.
yeah.
Okay, perfect.
I do some heavy metal,
Okay.
hardcore.
That's
heavy
funny.
Metal.
I've heard people doing
It
that.
kind of just wakes me up and
Right.
kind of
Get
irritates
you
me a little
alive,
bit.
yeah.
And then I do some rap, but then especially recently, I started doing rod wave. Before the game,
Okay,
like on the
I know.
field and
We're
stuff.
big rod
Ooh,
wave
I love it.
people. We love
Yeah.
rod wave. Nice. Is
Yeah.
there a pregame like food, like a snack that you eat before? Like Garmin's, I think he's so crazy. He eats hot chips before he
loves
goes
chips.
to
I
play
can't
a
do
football
that.
game. I'm like, how do you do that? I
Yeah.
know your stomach is going crazy.
Yeah, I can't. I don't really eat too much on game days, but
Mm-hmm.
like when we do breakfast or like a lunch, I eat like breakfast. I do a bagel with cream cheese and
Really?
like 3 pieces of bacon.
That's funny.
And
yeah.
then lunch would be like a little half a chicken breast and some rice. That's
Something
all I
small.
do.
I used to
Yeah.
have to eat small before I would do like cheer stuff because it's just
It's
doesn't
too
sit
much,
well in your
yeah.
stomach. Okay, and like last thing, early games, later games. Like what time do you like to play? What do you feel like is the best environment for you personally?
I like both, but I like morning games.
Morning
earlier
games. I think 11 o'clock games are fun.
Yeah, 'cause you just
Everyone's awake. You don't have to. I feel like you kind of have to wait all day when you have
I
evening
hate-
games and
yeah.
you're like over anticipating it and stuff. So I feel like 11 o'clock games are fun.
Yeah,
I feel
you-
like even fans love.
Yeah, you just wake
11
up and then
o'clock
you
games.
get to play.
And
it.
you're just there and it's just happy.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's all I have for you. So thank you so much for
Yeah, of
coming and
course.
being
Thank
on
you.
the show, and we'll be seeing more of you. We're excited to
Yes,
see
ma'am.
what Baylor football can finish out this season. So thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course.
We are Rogue Media Sports.